There are a couple of NFL teams that seem to be in need of a running back. For instance, the Cowboys are having problems. The only guy healthy there right now is Randall. Dunbar's hurt. DeMarco Murray's gone. McFadden is hurt again. He's always hurt. The Houston Texans just lost Arian Foster for maybe half a season. He needed surgery. So there are some big-name running backs who are on the beach right now, Woody, who are out there who are available. And just to give you a few names, you've got Chris Johnson, you've got Steven Jackson, you've got Ahmad Bradshaw, Noshan Moreno, Ray Rice, Pierre Thomas, Ben Tate. Of all those guys, who would you be interested in picking up if you needed a running back?
Well, I think Houston already has expressed some interest in Pierre Thomas. He's had a good career.
Yeah,
nothing great.
Mainly with the Saints.
Yeah. I would, if I were the Dallas Cowboys, I'll start with them. If I were the Dallas Cowboys, I'd bring in Steven Jackson. You know why?
Why?
He's begging for a spot on that team.
Yeah, I know, but he's got no tread on the tires, Wood. I mean, a couple of years ago, he looked
well,
like...
why do you have him on your list, then? You asked me in the list.
I said big-name running backs.
Okay, well,
so
I would bring him in.
Yeah, I don't know.
He
looked old to me 2 years ago.
He's had more than a good career.
He can pass block, all right? He can catch the ball out of the backfield. But as far as running the ball, he wouldn't be the one on my
I don't
list.
want Ray Rice around. After what he's gone through, and I know he's rehabilitated, he's out having interviews saying
saying the right things.
Yeah. But
that's the guy I go for.
Well, see, but
I think he's got the most left. Chris Johnson. I mean, he hasn't had breakaway speed for a couple of years now.
Why don't you do this? You're talking about that. You're talking about a list of guys. I would bring in Noshan Moreno if I were one of those two. He's
rehabbing an ACL.
Yeah, but I'd bring him in and
good pass protector. You're going to need that for Romo?
What I would do, and it doesn't happen in the NFL, I would come to the Denver Broncos and make a deal with him.
If you were the Broncos, who would you be willing to deal from the running back position? Monte Ball?
Would you be willing to trade Monte Ball
for a number 2 draft pick?
No.
Which Monte was?
I don't want a number 2 draft pick.
What do you want?
I want a player. I'm all in.
Okay, that doesn't happen a whole lot. Player for player.
I know, that's why I said this doesn't happen in the NFL.
So who you want? Or tell me a position you want.
If Houston, which has a relationship with the Broncos, why does Houston have a relationship with the Broncos?
Because they've had a number of people, particularly in coaching in the front office, go back and forth.
Well, the general manager of the Houston Texans,
Rick Smith,
used
to be here
in the front office of the Denver Broncos. So they have a communications. They do stuff. I would say to the Houston Texans, okay, you got an issue. Monte Ball, what are you going to give me in return? They've got some guys that I thought the Broncos should sign as free agents. And they signed them. We signed them all. There's some linebackers there. There are some defensive linemen that have tread on the tire.
I have a great idea.
Well, that would be
first. You sparked a great idea. That would be a first. You gave me a great idea. What is the Dallas Cowboys' greatest strength? It's the offensive line.
Okay.
What's the Broncos' biggest weakness right now? The offensive line.
Offensive line.
Offensive line is one of their greatest weaknesses.
All right.
I'm with you. Brilliant idea. Monte Ball to Dallas. Give me one of those offensive linemen.
Okay.
I'm there.
What do you think the chances are of that happening?
It won't happen at all. Dallas isn't going to give up any of those offensive linemen. But
I'd make
the call. I'd make the call.
They might.
I like that idea.
But see,
Monte Ball, after all, he's a second-round draft pick. Most of those offensive linemen were first-rounders.
What would be the worst first-round draft choice the Broncos ever made?
Ever? Ted Gregory. Defensive lineman.
What happened in training camp?
They actually cut him. Oh, no, they traded him before training camp was even over.
To the New Orleans Saints.
Yes.
For their number 1 draft choice.
Who also stunk.
We'll give you our crap for your crap.
Exactly.
Be creative. Think outside the box, just as you said. Go and say, you need a running back. We got a guy, because I believe that they do have some capable backups. C.J. Anderson's going to be the number one guy. The more I think about the Ronnie Hillman thing, if he can figure out this system, he could be effective in it in taking the one cut.
And we both like Juwan Thompson. And we know they're going to hold a fullback or two, so that's James Casey and or Joe Don Duncan.
And Capri Bibbs, who we're not hearing a lot about in camp, but except from him, who says, oh, this system's perfect for me.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Call Dallas, offer Monte Ball, get an offensive lineman
and then call Rick Smith at Houston and say, Monte Ball, what do you got?
Yeah.
I don't want draft
leverage.
choices.
It's all about leverage.
I don't want draft choices. I want somebody that can play right now.
Yeah, an offensive lineman.
And I said to you, the defensive linemen and linebackers at Houston are one of the Texans' strengths.
Yep.
And they got veteran guys who played for Kubiak and Wade Phillips. They'd fit in. They wouldn't have to be retrained.
That segment sponsored by John Elway Cadillac of Park Meadows. That's Colorado's #1 Cadillac dealer.